Ladies and gentlemen, it is once again time for the best part of your week. It is the Heroes of the Storm Power Hour. Here we are, in your face, ready to rock it, discussing all sorts of news in the Heroes of the Storm, the Nexus, as it were, and it's just gonna be a good time all around. It's the only kind of time we know how to have. So let me make just a few introductions because I'm not alone on the show. That's one of the most beautiful things about this show. First and foremost, let me make a quick introduction to a man who absolutely he needs no introduction. It is the spit, gum, and glue of BlizzPro.com, Mr. Eldorian, a.k.a. J.R. Cook. Hello, sir.
Hey, Twiz. So, I have this lump in the back of my neck. So, I don't know. I've had it for a couple days. It's starting to go down. I think it might be an aneurysm. So, if I start playing later, like I'm having a stroke, just keep going.
Okay.
Get the win. Just keep going.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll put the Heroes, the championship music on your computer. That way, that'll be the only thing you have to worry about. If you can just reach up and tap that music while we're pushing core, dude, that's all we're really gonna need from you.
That'd be awesome.
So, anyways, well, good luck.
I'll make sure when I flop over, I'll just hit like the Q button.
Do it.
And we'll be good.
We'll be safe. So, we have a special guest, but we're going to come back to him in just a moment. Next, I would like to introduce the three Viking wrecking crew. The guy who has one job and he's hiding his fighting hair like a champ tonight. It's the LA Dodgers fan, Mr. DJ Tyrant. Welcome back for another week of severe beatings.
It's always good to be on this show. I love it. Favorite part of my week, just playing Heroes with friends and talking about a game that I've fallen so in love with.
like Charlie's pillow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It vibrates.
It does. And it smokes too.
Yes.
So I recommended nicotine patches for it. So you know what? Why don't we make that introduction? You know what? He is one of the main hosts for Flask Action Heroes. He is the brains behind this operation, and he is here to thoroughly kick your ass. It is the one and only Mr. Balrog Fan BP, a.k.a. Charlie. Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
That's good. I had a wonderful week in Heroes, played a lot. We played in the amateur tournament, recorded episode of Flask Action Heroes. We did a fan voted show. So it was all good. Good week.
Cool. So yeah. So when I ask everybody how their week in gaming was, we can just skip you.
Yes, skip me right away.
Couldn't wait.
I'm streamlining this.
Last but not least, and we're gonna run out of music. We screwed the pooch on this one. Hang on. It's Zex. Sorry.
That was good timing right there.
It was. Well, when you can see that the music is about to end, on my screen I can see it's about to end. It's like, okay, I can make it pretty awesome. But no, guys, and I didn't mean to shortchange that. We have with us a very special guest host. He has been a supporter of the Heroes Power Hour for like numerous hours, and big supporter. He's one of our patrons and everything like that. We've played with him. We've gotten to know him. He's a great guy. Very happy to have him on the show. So please help me welcome Zex, or he is here to thoroughly pound your buttocks.
Right?
How are you, buddy?
Doing great, actually. How's everyone else doing tonight?
We're doing good. We are doing good. We are ready to get into this hot and heavy.
Zex is also one of our new writers over at BlizzPro.
Uh-huh.
Just put out his first article today.
Very good. Good deal, man. Good deal. So, yeah, head on over to heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com and check out the magical things that are coming from Zex's fingertips. So,
Man.
so, anyways, let's talk about you know what? Let's just break it down a little bit with our week in gaming. Eldorian, what have you been up to, man? Anything worthwhile to talk about?
Here's a Storm. Been playing a little bit of Falstad, a little bit of Zeratul. Those seem to be my mains lately. I'm looking forward to playing either one of them tonight. I want to start hitting Hero League a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm still feeling that whole ladder anxiety thing that, especially since they changed the whole Hero League where it's only you and a buddy maybe.
Yeah.
And no one else. Ever since they did that change, I just haven't felt like playing Hero League that much.
I'm right in the same boat with you, dude.
Yeah.
Right in the same boat, And then I log on and I see that like the only people on are like Snuggy or Zex or whatever, and I'm like, there's no effing way I'm getting into that boat. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Other than that, just playing Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Doing that.
kind of want to jump on the back of that because I've been kind of the opposite ever since the change. I mean, as much as I complained and moaned about it, like that's pretty much all I've been playing this year. Like I've just avoided quick match as much as I could. Like the only time I played quick match was today to try out the medic because I didn't want to start learning the medic in Hero League and making people suffer through that. But yeah, I've been playing mostly with Aya, and we've had some pretty good success. So I just really enjoy the drafting of Hero League, and being able to see the map before you choose your heroes it's just another level of the game.
Right on. How about, well, you know what, we already covered you, Balrog fan. We already know everything you just did in this whole week. So no, is there anything big and specific you wanted to talk about?
Just the Heroes Hype was a lot of fun. Great learning experience. I highly recommend people to sign up as free agents if they're curious about how a semi-pro setting works. I mean, obviously they're amateur players, but they're very strong players, and we got blown up pretty thoroughly. I mean, we held our own in the beginning, but ended up having a 2-level deficit going into the curse and somewhere in there. But I mean, I still feel like we learned a lot, and it's fun to draft. It's really fun to draft. So I recommend everyone to go out and give it a shot. And and as far as speaking about Hero League and ladder anxiety, I just say go for it. Do you? You don't have to apologize for playing whatever it is you want to play.
How about you, Zax? What's your week? What's your week like?
I've been like obsessing way too much over Diablo 3 because I'm like one short. I was one item short.
Hey, actually, Zax, real quick, is your headset? Are you using the mic that's in your headset?
Yes.
Can you pull that? Can you extend that out a little bit, man?
Absolutely. Is that better?
Keep talking a little closer to your mouth, and you should be good.
How about now?
Oh, that's leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, all right, there we go. So, yeah, I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3 because I've been waiting for like 600 Paragon levels for a Calamity to drop, and it finally dropped last night, and then I lost all interest in Diablo 3. I rolled it into an Ancient, said I won the game, and like just quit. I haven't touched it since.
You got the carrot. What are you supposed to do after that?
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's been some quick match. I haven't really gotten to play anything today, but we did some scrims last night, and that was entertaining. Lots of clowny situations arose that caught our team off guard, and like with Charlie, like he said, we played in Heroes Hype, and yeah, it was definitely a learning experience for all of us.
Good deal, man. Well, yeah, and I wish I had seen a little bit more. Maybe if I could get the replays from you guys, I could watch those.
Oh, we weren't on stream.
No, I mean but you saved the replays.
Oh yeah.
So I would watch.
What were you gonna say, DJ? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, I was just gonna mention that you guys, unfortunately, weren't on stream, so I didn't get to cast you guys, which is a little bit bummer. But
we should cast the replays.
Yeah, I can do that. Or we could do that. Yeah. But yeah, Heroes Hype was interesting this week. Team Blaze is finally moving out of the amateur league, so
yeah, they're real.
Someone else will take the crown. I'm assuming 2Arc at this point, and then 2Arc will probably quickly move out of amateur league.
Yeah.
So very cool. As far as my week in gaming, I'm still playing Heroes. I've been like just waiting for Lieutenant Morales to come out. Like that's ever since she was announced, I was like, okay, I'm just waiting for her to come out, and I ended up like, I don't know. I didn't take a break. That's not what I did for Heroes. I just didn't log in as much. And mainly, you know what? I ran into a whole string of like super toxic players, and it's like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm just tired of everybody calling each other faggot, and I'm tired of all the crap. It's like you just can't play your game. It's like, yeah, I could mute chat, but I shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to not be able to communicate with my teammates because other people are just socially retarded. So whatever. But I am still sore in the ass over my lag last week against Scott Johnson's team. So, anyways,
We're coming for you, Scotty. Lag free.
Yeah, we still need to set up that rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to set it up. I even gave him some times and just ignored. So
Oh,
Yeah.
you hear that, Scott?
yeah,
On
Good call.
blast.
Yep. Yep.
That's bad form there.
So, anyways, well, obviously, guys, the new patch is out and about, and it's live, and it's rocking out, and all that good stuff. In case you guys have not been watching, if you're listening to this on the download and you want to watch the screen, there's an Easter egg on the loading screen every time, and it's like, where do you click on to do it? You know, in the past, it was like clicking a little thing, and a treasure goblin would pop out or whatever. And now you click on this little light that appears from the side of the Death Star, and there is a rainbow thing that flies by. I'll do it again here real quick so that way you guys watching can see it. It's a unicorn and a Wonder Billy and something else on top that's riding a Pop-Tart. And I don't know what that is, but that thing on top.
it's from Nine Cat, I believe.
Oh, is
which
it?
was the Pop-Tart cat with the rainbows behind it. I think that's what it was trying to be like.
I
It's
gotcha.
a Pop-Tart cat crapping rainbows.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Wow.
that. Yeah, Pop-Tart cat crapping rainbows. That was actually, you know
I was
what?
going to say something different, but we're trying to.
That was
family-friendly show.
my call sign in the Air Force. So
Pop-Tart cat.
Pop-Tart cat farting rainbows is what they would call me.
Yep.
Do you copy?
Do you? That's a firm.
Yeah.
Blizzard,
I'm
the
coming in hot.
the
Little
purveyor of-
PCFR.
PCFR's coming in hot.
Oh my God.
So, anyways, Snuggie is like, can we bring up the changes from this patch because there's some major ones that I
Yeah,
think should be discussed.
interesting.
Absolutely, and we discussed it last week, didn't we?
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
cool
for
in
the most
depth.
part.
I understand. We didn't really get into the loading screen, so I will say that it's pretty cool that they're showing the loading screen with. I mean, the art looks better. I think
yeah.
just from the screen caps I've seen, it looks better. Period.
Yeah.
And knowing your teammates' ranks and your opponent's ranks is helpful to people who aren't jerks and can be totally a disaster for people who are.
Yeah, I think it's funny because also StarCraft 2's major patch before their expansion came out today, and they're doing the opposite. They're removing the ranks from the loading screen.
Yeah.
And so
Interesting.
Heroes is adding them. It's funny how that's working out because it was fairly toxic
Yeah.
in StarCraft 2.
That's gonna
If you
do
like-
that's gonna do nothing but bring the hate. You
It's-
know, like
it's
automatic,
something
you're
that people
automatically
think
judged.
They want. Right. Yeah. And it's something that people think they want. But how many times have I played a game like some guys, fed some early deaths, given the other team the early lead, and then spent the whole game going, why do I always get paired up with the ranked 40s? Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best thing you might want to do is just change your portrait to the basic border, so it's just 40 no matter what, because
Yeah.
that's your player level. I don't know. It's just an
Hashtag
idea.
basic.
Okay.
I
Basic.
changed mine to the team league because I don't have a team league rank yet, so it's
Yeah.
just a star.
Got a
That works
star.
too.
Yeah, that's what I've got. So, okay, real quick, guys, let's talk about. Let's take a look at the shop and see what's going on. Obviously, the Apothecary Morales bundle has come out today, and it's $13.11, which I think is really cool. Like in the past, when I've shown this, if I already bought it, it just said you own this bundle, and it didn't give me the price tag. And now it shows $13.11, and then there's a little thing above it that says you own this bundle, so you know how much you paid for it. But anyways, so that's out, and then there's the Marshall Rayner bundle. I have 27% off because I already own Rayner, but the Marshall Rayner skin and the mount is now out. If you already own Rayner, the mount and the skin is $14.58. Which, do you guys have, I wonder what is the price if you don't own Rayner?
I think pretty much everyone
Not
owns
worth it.
Rayner.
I know,
Yeah,
but
Because Rayner's what?
here's
2,000
what
gold
I am
hero?
wondering. Here's what I'm wondering. If you didn't own Rayner, what is the price? Is the price tag over $20 still?
I don't think so. I think Rayner's
Like it was with the Butcher, because with the
cheapest.
Butcher, you got the skin, and you got the mount, and it was like 21 something or other.
Yeah, Butcher was a brand new hero though, so he was $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rayner's like 5 maybe, if
Yeah,
not
I
less.
couldn't even see it do.
It's like
I think he's
350.
371 or something after
Yeah.
tax, so
Okay.
it would probably be.
Okay, wait.
under
We can
20
see the
still with
prices now because Twiz brought this up. We can actually see the prices. He's $4 or 2,000 gold.
Okay, $4. So he would have been 18, $19, something like that. Yeah, that's
And
the
it's
only
not
thing.
worth buying the Rainer for $4. I mean, 2,000 gold is not hard to grind out.
Yeah, yeah,
This Marshall Rainer bundle, I love it. I do, but it's one of those things where like Rainer doesn't have many great skins. I mean, there are some great red, white, and blue jokes for these colors don't run with the patriotic one. But I mean, his master skin is a bit lackluster. So this skin is so cool that I don't want to buy it because it's what everybody's going to be using from here on out. You're going to see Rainer on that horse with a hat, and it's pretty cool. But I like to be different, and
Yeah.
I need a little more variety. Some heroes just don't have it. It bums me out. But in due time, I suppose.
yeah. Sure. I'm trying to find. Is that
There's
it?
also an Altered Fates bundle. I believe this is new as well, which just has the bizarre love triangle of Malfurion, Tyrant, and Illidan.
No, that Altered Fates bundle is a pretty meaty. The Ultimate bundle,
The ultimate
you get
one's
the
really
Direwolf,
nice.
you get 5 heroes and 5 skins.
I'm thinking about getting that because I only don't own 2 of the items in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I own 7 of the items, so I'd get get some of the skins on sale.
Sure. Sure. Well, let's dive into obviously like the patch has launched today. Was there anything that changed from what we covered last week to what is actually live now?
I believe basically nothing changed.
Sure.
From
Yeah.
what I was reading on Reddit, there's no significant changes.
Okay. Okay. Well, then there you go. So last week, guys, our last week's episode was at length about the patch notes and the changes that were coming up, and we discussed some of the pros and some of the cons and stuff like that. So we're not going to bore you this whole week with that kind of stuff.
Can I quickly mention
No.
I did play an Infernal Shrines game, and it feels significantly better with the change to 40 minions that you have to kill to get a Infernal.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm anxious to try Stitches again. I really
Yeah.
am.
It'll be interesting to see how the warrior meta shifts with this patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm-
plan on picking up Stitches. Definitely
I am-
again. I want to see how it goes.
I'm definitely dreading playing Chen. 'Cause
Yeah.
I do not like the changes. to him.
Yeah.
Which they
someone
look
did
so
the
positive. Do you not like them because it alters your play style of how you play
No,
him?
I legitimately think the buffs ended up being backhanded nerfs.
How so?
Let's take his chug for instance. Sure, they buffed it hard early game, but it trails off hard towards late game. Like, so you're not generating as much shield as you would be if they had just left it alone. Like I don't think his chug needed that much of a change. I don't like the 20% move speed increase on the flying kick. Like that it takes you 20% faster away from your team. And it's going to lead until everyone adjusts, like especially Chen's, they're going to get caught out of position really quick.
Right.
Like because you're there quicker, which means if they're all running, you're now closer to them than you are to your team. So they could probably just turn, stun, blow you up real quick, and then continue on their merry way.
It is better for isolation body blocking situations, though, but in the vast majority, it does feel like a debuff as far as I've seen.
Yeah. And then there's
Which is weird. Speed is a debuff, huh?
I can't. Let me we'll pull up Chen here real quick because there's a skill at 16 that just would have been better suited at 13.
Fill for time, fill for time. This is me
And-
filling for time.
Yeah. But they put bottomless mug at 16, which reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. Like if they put that at 13, I would almost take that probably. I'd say 70-80% of the time, because reducing the cooldown on Chug to 3 is amazing.
Yeah.
That would make up for the lack of shield generation in late game. But like you're telling me to take that over Boulder Flavor or Pressure Point, and those are 2 skills that are just core to Chen, and he still doesn't really have anything good at 13. I mean, Bruce Strike's interesting, but I mean, I want to take Relentless, just because they're going to have some kind of stun on their team, and I'm going to want to shake that off as quickly as possible.
Well, don't you think Relentless and Bottomless Mug in conjunction with each other against a heavy stun comp will help Chen deal with that stuff a lot better and make him more viable against his biggest weakness, which is complete lockdown teams?
No, because you want that Chug for that extra little bit of sustainability. You want it to eat those initial shots from whatever they throw at you, and like that's why you just take Relentless. It gives you enough to get out, throw your slowdown, throw your flame breath out, and then back off, chug again, and then do your thing. Now, if it was at 13, I could eat a stun, drop a slow, and do breathe fire, and then chug again without having to run real far.
Sure.
And then re-engage. So,
Gotcha.
Okay.
But
Well, you know what? We'll take. I mean, I don't care what you say. At 13, I'm taking enough to share. So I know you hate that. But I love everything about it. So it is what it is.
it has its uses. I just don't take it because there's other things I can do. So
I respect that. All right. So obviously the big portion of this this patch is all about the medic. So why don't we talk a little bit about the medic? Guys, we've broken this down in the past. I've talked about it on Twizzcast. We've talked about it in the patch notes and stuff like that. Jimmy actually got to play a little bit of the medic prior to. What are your thoughts, dude?
I absolutely love her. I think she will be a really high up support, but I think her learning curve is very high. Because her Q, the healing beam, has no cooldown on it, so you can burn through mana exceptionally quickly if you're not
Now,
microing it.
is it Q? But then if you hit Q again, it doesn't shut it off. It's not like Arthas's whatchamacallit?
No, you have to either get out of range or you can change targets immediately with it as well. But what I've found works is self-targeting the Q on yourself.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, you can't heal yourself with it.
Right.
So
So
that
if you hit
deactivates it.
Alt Q, it's gonna stop channeling that healing beam because you cannot target it on yourself. So the computer's like, nope, can't. Does not compute.
Yeah.
Shutting it
Absolutely.
off. Okay. So you got your healing beam as your Q. You got your safeguard as your W, which is basically just a bubble. The displacement grenade, does that act like Tychus's grenades?
It's fairly similar. It's a skill shot.
Travels in a straight line as far as I understand, right?
It travels in a straight line.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So think of it like a weak damageless sundering a bit that only affects one target.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And
Can it hit minions? That was one thing I wasn't sure on.
Yes.
Okay, so it is a really
Knocking enemies away. So I guess that would encompass, fire a grenade that explodes on the first enemy hit, dealing 60 damage, knocking enemies away. So that's, yeah. And then there's obviously your ultimates or your heroics of Stim Drone and the Medevac dropship, aka the feed bus. So.
Yeah. I will say I've not taken the Medevac dropship yet because I've only played in quick match, and that seems like a bad idea in quick match.
Yeah, it's true. But you know what? I mean, usually, if you use it smart, then that's fine. If you use it to get an objective, everybody knows you're going to use it to get to the objective. So what you do is you don't use it to get to the objective. You get to the objective the old-fashioned way, and then while everybody's, handling boss, up top or whatever, you pack up everybody and you push bottom. You know what I mean? Like, that's an excellent use of that. So
I do love its
yeah.
potential on big maps.
yes. Yep, me too.
yeah.
So, do we want to talk about the talents or whatever? I'm going to be playing the medic for the very first time ever in the second portion of this show. So, stick around for the shit show because it's going to get pretty sweet. So, as far as the abilities go, I don't know. Is there anything that stands out that you guys really want to talk about? I think what I'm probably going to go with, just from what I've seen people playing on the PTR, she seems like she could be really mana starved at certain times.
That's absolutely true.
So for level 1, I'm probably I'm probably going to take Trauma Trigger, because another one of the downsides is the fact that you cannot heal yourself unless you've not been damaged. It's your trait. Let's see here. Your ability.
I agree with that a
your
lot.
trait. Your Caduceus reactor. Your Cunnilingus reactor. And
Wow.
sorry. I'll tone it down. I shouldn't have said that. JR, don't ever say that again. Not on this show, okay?
I just want to say, at one, I took Feedback Loop just because I feel she's really mana starved, but Trauma Trigger is fine as well. I think the only negative of Trauma Trigger is it bumps up the cooldown on it to 20 seconds, only when it's triggered on you.
Right.
So
when it triggers on you, but I mean, yeah. But it's
It
a good
doesn't
way
have
to.
a separate cooldown.
I think it's an internal cooldown. The way I'm reading it, this effect has a 20-second cooldown. So if they get you
I'm
below,
comparing it to Tacidar's ability, where the Prescience triggers a separate cooldown on its own.
This I don't actually know. It's a good question.
yeah, we'll figure it out tonight.
Okay. If it doesn't have a separate cooldown, it's garbage, and I'd never take it. You don't want to automatic. You want to be in control of your abilities. The only reason that Prescience thing is great on Tassadar is because it has a separate cooldown.
Okay.
If it shares cooldown, take Feedback Loop all day,
15,
or even
man.
the duration, because that's a 1 second of an extra 25%. The difference between 3 and 4 seconds on a 25% reduction is pretty huge, especially on something that only has a 15-second cooldown.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, only makes it sound kind of low, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big skill. It's a really big skill.
For level 4, there's a lot of good picks here. I've seen Advanced Block. Periodically reduces the damage received from hero basic attacks by 50%. Stores up 3 charges. You know what? I mean, I can see the medic being an instant target. Like we go for the medic first. I think that BioShield is nice if you're coming into a team fight. Or if somebody's in a team fight and you're able to heal them up to full and then start stacking a shield on them. I see a lot of value in that. Upgraded ballistics, okay, your grenade travels faster and enemies directly impacted take 33% more damage. Okay, that's cute and not so much.
That's very similar to Tyrande a bit, I feel like.
Kind of, sort of. Yep, I can see that. But Infused Grenade, again, Displacement Grenade mana cost is refunded if you hit an enemy hero. So there's a possibility. It just depends on how good your skill shots are at. I'm probably going to go with BioShield just for giggles, just for science.
I think your talent picks, you're going to have to identify very early if they're a dive comp that's going to be coming for you.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be her weakness. If a team focuses on isolating her away from her team, like, every engage starts with Tyrael charging Morales and then Illidan, turning her into his own personal jungle gym with an Abathur hat,
Yeah.
you're going to have a hard time. It's not going to be fun.
Sure.
But-
I totally hear that, dude.
That's good.
For level 7, I was thinking about taking Irradiate, where your healing beam target enemies near your healing beam target takes 20 damage a second. I think that's a great way. How many times have you seen, like, you're just about dead, but the other enemy is just about dead as well? And I think that's one of those things that pushes it just past and gets those kills, prevents them from getting away. Just that extra little damage. Mule, it's really nice that she's got Mule, because there's the heroes that currently have Mule are heroes that I don't play. So it's
a hard thing not taking Mule. It
Yeah.
wins you games flat out.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, a Mule can really just and I like the idea of Irradiate. I even like the idea of Cleanse on her, but God, it's so hard to pass on Mule most
Yep.
games.
Yep. So for things like Blackheart's Bay and stuff, that's going to be pretty much an auto pick.
Most maps, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't,
that's just the first one that pops out in my head, though.
yeah. No, I can definitely see it if you're not taking Mule.
Yeah.
Definitely nothing. I'm not impressed by buffing anything related to the displacement grenade. It already does its job.
Yeah.
So I feel like all these displacement grenade talents are waste.
And what else
That's
is nice
disappointing.
is even if you have to channel with your healing beam, you still can auto attack while that's channeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a ranged attack, so you can still do damage. I mean, there's no reason really to buff the the displacement grenade that I see, but I could be, I mean, whatever. Level 10, we talked about the ultimates a little bit, the Stimdrome and the feed bus. Level 13, I was looking at going into couples therapy. Then when you're channeling your healing beam, you are
Twiz?
healed. What?
You want to talk?
Couples therapy?
Are
you
trouble
okay?
at home?
I do. I need to pick that up because things are just not right here. When channeling your healing beam, you are healed for 25% of the healing at the cost of additional 4 mana per second. Now, something to think about, guys. Lieutenant Morales has no escape tools. She has no self-healing other than her shield. So to start healing up, you got to be out of combat and, running away. And when you need to be in combat. So basically, the way this build is functioning is if I went with Irradiate, whatever you call it, at level 7, where my healing beam's target, enemies near my healing beam target is getting 20 damage per second. On top of the couples therapy, I'm getting healed for that. It looks to me like it's great damage output on top of healing throughput. So spell shield might not be bad either.
I will say this is a definite pick'em level. Like, you really have to identify what's going on with the enemy team. Couples therapy, great for exactly what you described, especially if you're going against an AoE comp who's just trying to put like some harass on you and then dive in for the kill. Spell shield you might need spell shield if they're playing people like, if if Nova's targeting you with triple tap, or Kelthus is taking Pyroblast for whatever reason, and every fight starts with you having to run away from a Pyroblast so it doesn't hit your team. Spell shield might help. Anything where there's just a lot of ability damage coming your way. Preventative care is going to be great if the enemy team is an auto attack comp. If they have someone who's just focusing on, like, you're running double tank comp and they've got 2 people with giant killer, then you have to take preventative care.
Yeah.
Intensive care is also great if you're running a solo tank who's able to get in there and mix it up and constantly push them down, or you're running a dive comp with Illidan.
And this is why I said the learning curve is high on her, because you really have to play it as the game goes through.
You have to know your tank. Like, for example, intensive care. If you're going to be healing Johanna, that's one thing. Okay, for those of you listening, intensive care, when healing beam is on a single target for over 3 seconds, its healing amount increases by 25% and the mana cost increases by 4. So, basically, it's like, you know your tank. Like, Johanna is just like impossible to kill to begin with. So if Johanna is my tank, I'm probably not going to go with intensive care because she's just tough to kill anyways. But
if you're running that no tank comp where Illidan's basically the tank, intensive care is going to do work.
It's going to do serious work. Yep, absolutely. Level 16, I am probably going to do Shield Sequencer, where after casting Safeguard, you can cast it second time with 3 seconds at no cost. And that is probably going to tie in really nicely because of Feedback Loop. When Safeguard expires, 45 mana is refunded at level 1. So you get free shields and mana return on all of it.
I would like to see the numbers on that. I think you might be right, but Inoculation is definitely going to be the pick against burst comps, but I'd like to see the numbers versus each other, like the overall damage reduction of Shield Sequencer being able to cast twice versus Inoculation.
A lot of that comes from what you're picking ahead of time, because I'm looking for healing throughput, and the only way I'm going to get healing throughput is if I'm not mana starved, and I'm already speccing into couples therapy.
This is true.
Additional mana, 4 mana per second, because it's healing me. I'm going through mana, but I need the throughput. So that's why if I can get mana back from this, and also I don't even know if that if I get mana back from my if I get mana back from what was it? What was that pick? Where
from number 1?
Oh, was it? Yeah, that's what it was. No.
Feedback Loop.
Yes, Feedback. No, it wasn't Feedback Loop. It was the one that Trauma Trigger.
Oh, okay. Trauma Trigger.
Safeguard automatically. If you take but that's at level 1, so you won't get never mind. That won't work. You got 2 talents that you need on the same level, so that won't work anyway. So
I'd just like to say here too, smart teams might identify my only worry about Shield Sequencer is you go, okay, Morales just cast Safeguard. Let's back off and reset. We'll have 15 seconds to re-engage before it's back off a cooldown. So we'll give her the 3 seconds to cast it again and come in, 2 seconds later, and basically nullifying the ability. So it's one of those things that you have to really hold till the heat of combat. So people who are gun happy or trigger happy with her safeguard have to be wary of that. And also on this level, I will say System Shock is probably the only grenade thing I would even consider, just because a 50% slow that decays is huge. That is
But again, it's also a skill shot. You miss that skill shot, you have just wasted your talent tree.
I mean, that's everything though. You're either good with skill shots or you're not.
I absolutely get it, but it's like if I can get something that is going to do more work for me than I missed that skill shot and now I am effed.
Picture this. How many times have you gotten hit by a good Void Prison? 4 or 5 people on your team, all Void Prisoned. They come out of that Void Prison hit by a displacement grenade, and their entire team is slowed by 50%. There's definitely uses for its System Shock.
Sure. Okay. I see the beauty in that. Again, very, and everything that we are talking about, DJ Tyrant nailed it right on the head. It's a very high learning curve, a very high what is going on with my team, what is going on with the map, what is going on with their team. So
I agree.
At level 20, I actually was thinking about picking Storm Shield.
Yeah, I would
Storm
too.
Shield is so strong, but
Yeah.
I feel like you could make an argument for Caduceus Reactor, but yeah, I don't know. Storm Shield is so strong. It's
Caduceus Reactor would be something that it's again one of those things where if you're getting targeted enough where they're not killing you but you're getting away, it could help. The fact is, Caduceus. Oh boy. The reactor
Thanks, Blizzard.
only activates when you're out of combat, so it's a tough go because you're basically saying, "Hey, wait, let me double check that."
Well, there's
Not
been a lot
taking
of
damage.
times.
Okay, not
Yeah.
taking damage, not out of combat, so you can still heal. So there's opportunities for it. My idea I had brought up, and I was trying to bring up via chat earlier, but failed horribly because speak to text is evil. You could run like a 3 bruiser comp where you have. Because this is becoming really popular in the Korean meta, where you have like a Johanna, an Arthas, and a Sonya, and they're your big damage dealers. And then behind them, you have Morales in the middle, and slightly behind her, you have a siege tank in Sergeant Hammer protecting her, and they're also protecting her. And then she's doing, her stim drone to buff up someone like Sonya, who's getting a lot of auto attack damage. And that's where something like Reactor 2.0 might come in handy because they just can't get to her. And even if they do, she's got a shield. She's keeping her mana up. She's using that mana that she's getting restored to her to heal her bruisers. And I don't know. I think it's definitely between those two, the Reactor and Storm Shield. She's got a lot of interesting choices, though.
They're so strong that they just totally outpace the two ultimate upgrades. I mean, the Transfusion one, I guess, if you have to be a really, really specific comp, I think, for that to be useful.
Yeah.
Because it gives you 2 more seconds on the stim drone, and it gives it to you as well. But like, what's the point of that? I don't think that's particularly strong. I mean, the only good thing is you get the movement speed out of it, and the Medbay one. Yeah, I guess you get to heal everybody up. That's kind of nice.
Medbay has its uses, but it's a very specific use that might not be as good as the other two.
So what did we? Number 7
There
or
is no
level
build.
7. Level 7. There is no build.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm really going to go back and forth on is Irradiate and Mule. So
Yeah.
So we'll just have to play that by ear. So
What do you think, JR?
I had myself muted. I think it's all good.
I take all the talents.
I had not played the medic yet, so
Yeah,
I
me
was just
neither.
taking in what you guys were saying.
I'm just shooting from the hip on it, just from what I see on the talent picks. I don't really know for sure, but
Okay.
just getting a feel for what she does and what I've seen her do. I don't think I'm too far off.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I know, guys, in the show notes we want to talk about Artanis. I want to talk a little bit about him more next week instead. And the reason being is because we've got a lot that we can cover tonight, but like there's going to be more information out. And actually, I think there was like a video released of him and stuff like that I'd like to get and put on the screen for people to look at, and we can really focus on him and his role next week. So we're gonna skip that, guys. Stay tuned next week. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Artanis, the new hero.
I would like to just point out about Artanis, though, that it was announced that he's going to come out October 20th if you pre-ordered Legacy of the Void. If you didn't, he's coming out October 27th.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what that means. So there you go. Yeah, I pre-ordered Legacy of the Void. I got it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So nice.
So that's interesting that they're doing that, where they're staggering when he's actually released based on if you pre-ordered a game or not. That's the first time they've done that. I don't know how I feel about it.
Hey, you know what? It's perks. It's perks to, you know what? Here's the people that are sticking with us and they're supporting what we do or whatever, and here's a little something for you. You know,
but
I can
for
see
people
that.
like me and Jimmy that buy the collector's edition, were basically the physical collector's edition.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, even though I have mine pre-ordered,
Yeah.
like, I don't get to count towards that week where I get to play Artanis.
Okay, but
Even
when
though
you get
I
your
have pre-ordered the physical game, I did not pre-order it digitally because I decided to spend even more money to Blizzard to get something better. I do not get to take advantage of this.
No, but here's what I ordered: the digital collector's edition, and here's what you get that I don't: a physical box with extra goodies.
Right. But I paid for that.
Well, right. Right. Yeah, you paid for that, but I paid the exact same amount that you did.
The physical collector's edition is a little bit more.
Just to settle this though, I did actually.
Wait, you have the deciding vote?
No, I no.
He's getting ready to tell us about lunch or something.
Yes, lunch was very good.
Team jury.
I bugged Blizzard's customer service on Twitter because I was unhappy when I heard about this. But apparently, on October 20th, if you provide proof that you got a collector's edition, they'll unlock it for you. So I guess that's something, but that just sounds like a giant pain in the butt to be able to unlock it.
Yeah.
Can I just take a picture of me holding the collector's edition with a beer? Like,
Okay. All right. Well, that's legit, dude. That's legit. Fair enough. So there you go, JR. There you go. So, okay, a new test map has been added to the PTR to gather data on potential changes that are being considered for the game. The new map is labeled Cursed Hollow Scaling Test. In addition to being available immediately on the PTR, this new test map will also be added to the normal client for a limited time on October 6th. The changes being tested include increased death timers in the early to mid game and a lowering of stat gains in the early levels to prevent snowballing. The death timer change is intended to address how quickly players are currently able to return to contest objectives after dying early in the game. By increasing the death timers on levels 1 through 10, it's going to place an increased importance on not dying. Not that that's going to make any difference to anybody in Quick Match, but it's also going to make it easier for teams to take advantage of early game takedowns. The snowball prevention changes are aimed at lessening the difficulties that teams face when falling behind early. Blizzard has actually identified that part of what makes the early advantage so difficult to overcome is a large amount of stats that are gained at the lower levels. By lowering these early stat gains, it will make it easier to engage in team fights when behind. It's also going to make levels where talent tiers are gained even more important, since that's going to be where teams gain the real advantage. Keep in mind, guys, though, that there is no ETA on when or even if these changes are going to be added to the game. This is simply a test to gather information on the potential changes.
I love this. The death timer is so. I mean, already heroes manipulate it, but just in the early game, people really abuse the fact that they can give up a bad positioning death, and it doesn't matter because they can get right back to a tribute or whatever objective is going on. I hope these death timer changes stay. And as far as like the stat adjustments, I mean, you got to look at those number by number, but I'm sure that they'll find a nice balance to where you can still engage and it doesn't feel pointless.
Well, here's the thing that I did not understand is they talk about the fact that, the death timer change is intended to address how quickly players are currently able to return to contest objectives after dying early in the game. To me, it sounds, that sentence says, we have the death timers too long. And then you look at the chart and everything is increased. And it's like, oh, you want me to not come back and contest that objective.
Right, that's what they're wanting. They're not wanting you to come back and contest that.
And then
if,
They want you to watch your butt and not die.
right,
Yep.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
and hopefully this promotes that, because a lot of people are willing to commit hard to an objective or commit to a chasing a person to get that death, when you really should probably just take what you can get. You don't see a lot of pro players die in the early game. Usually it's the big first engage, and then it might just be one death on one side, and then the team backs off and sacks the objective, because eating 3 or 4 death timers isn't good at that level, because those little seconds matter. But at this level, like, nobody's playing at the kind of level that a pro player plays when you join quick match. So those extra seconds that you take on a death timer currently don't matter as much. But if they up it as much as they're going to up it, it doesn't level out to what it is until you get to level 11. That's pretty big.
So what
That'd make
happens?
a big difference.
What happens when you have a team comp that's just nothing but a roaming gang squad?
You play safe. You learn to play safe. You learn how to play this game in a way that doesn't get you killed early.
Yeah, but I mean,
You
it's
play
like
behind your minion wave. You don't extend out for meaningless damage on a tower that's just going to get you killed. You should back off and just make sure you're getting the experience.
okay.
It's not. I mean, it's not a fun way to play, but it is the correct way to play.
Yeah. What do you think,
mean, the-
Zax?
I like the increased death timers as well. There's plenty of times, like Haunted Mines especially is notorious for this, where you'll get like a 2-3 man wipe, and then you start the golem, your tank takes a little too much damage, someone else steps in and tries to mitigate the damage, and now you got 2 low people, and those people you just killed come rushing back in, and you get wiped, and it breaks whatever momentum you had in the mines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Or
there's
or they get killed and you get the golem, but then they get the minion waves because of it, because they're up there and already attacking them.
Yeah.
Just one Vaughn in the chat room says longer death timers are going to punish players who are completely new to MOBAs a lot more. Now, yes, you're right, but if they're new to MOBAs, they're not going to know how it was back in the day. They're not going to be like, oh, I remember back when this was 8 seconds shorter. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, well, I'm dead, and I can't do anything until I'm not dead anymore. So it's one of those
So
things.
they're going to learn to not be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, he raises a valid point. It's going to punish players, but you can't punish the ignorant, the people who don't know any better, and it's not their fault. So, I mean, I completely agree with there's both sides are right. So, you know what?
If you get scared off of the MOBA because you die a lot early and it punishes you for it, then MOBAs probably aren't your genre.
Yeah.
It's a game of patience and strategy, and if you just want to like run in and duel somebody and not be punished for dying, I mean, I don't know, go play a fighting game or something.
It's all patience and strategy. All patience and strategy.
which one would you recommend, Charlie?
Like planning out that post-lunch poop.
Yes,
So-
yes. And I would recommend Smash Brothers.
Absolutely.
Poop and Smash Brothers.
Let's talk about hotkeys. One of the other things that I wanted to bring this up. There's an awesome article on heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com that Alebeard put up that addresses hotkeys in Heroes of the Storm, and I'm going to cover just a few of them for you guys to try out, just in case you didn't know about them. And you can go check out the full list for yourself if you'd like. First off, there's spacebar. Okay, this is one of the basic hotkeys, and it's even covered in the tutorial. However, since a large number of players skip the tutorial, they never learn about this trick. When you press spacebar, it's going to center the camera on your hero and put a blue spotlight over your hero. When you hold it down, it's going to keep that camera. Charlie almost died.
Sorry.
It's going to keep that camera centered on your hero.
Stroke JR was talking about.
And he's back.
Oh my god.
It's going to keep that. It's going to keep the when you hold spacebar down. It's going to keep the camera centered on your hero. It's going to keep that blue light on you, and it's good because it identifies where your hero is at during big team fights. And I lose my hero all the time, and so this is one of those things that I never utilize, and I need to do it more. And then there's Control F8. Now, basically, if you guys played StarCraft, this is pretty much based off the StarCraft engine, where if you are at a certain area of the map and you push Control F5 or Control F6, F7, or F8, but you have to hit Control first and hold down Control, it it basically puts a bookmark right where you're at on the screen. So you hit Control F5 when you are you're looking at or like a tribute. Okay, a tribute spawns, and so you click down there and you hit Control F5. And then you can go anywhere else on the map that you need to do. You can look at your hero, you can look at something else or whatever. And as soon as you push that F5 button, it zips back to where that tribute, where you basically took that little, not screenshot, but your bookmark. And you can do that with F5, 6, 7, and 8. So you got 4 different screen zones that you can save to zip back to.
I actually didn't know this.
Yep.
I didn't either, and I play StarCraft. I didn't think that they transported.
Well,
that
I
into
never
Earth.
I never tried it, but I figured it would work because you can. It works just like StarCraft, where you can send your hero, like you can send them to a well, and then you can send them, down to the next lane. You basically marker where they're going to go next.
Shift queuing, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
so-
well with shift queuing, I was talking about the Control F5 to F8.
Well, right, but once I saw the shift queuing,
Oh, yeah.
I
Gotcha.
figured that this was another thing that most probably worked, and I never even thought about trying it. So, and then H. Okay, pressing H holds your hero in place, and when used in combination with left clicks, it can be a very effective way to stutter step. If you're not familiar with what stutter stepping is, it means that you're slightly repositioning your hero in between each auto attack. And while this can take some time to master, it's well worth the efforts. Basically, the best way to practice it is to take a character, a heavy range character like Raynor or Vala, into either like a training or an AI game, and your goal should be to move your hero slightly after each auto attack by using the left click, quickly followed by H, which is going to hold your hero in place. This is probably going to seem a little awkward at first, but once you do it enough, it kind of becomes second nature, and people are going to recognize what you're doing, and it's going to make you basically really look like you know what you're doing, or it's going to make you look like a retard. One of the two. I don't know. But people might make fun of you and saying, hey, dude, what are you doing and whatever, in which case you need to educate them on what stutter stepping is and how you learned about H on heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com. So that's just a few of them that I thought were interesting. But again, head over to heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com and you can check out the entire list for yourself. All right, guys.
Most definitely.
So, and you know what's really interesting is if you guys watched last night's Twizcast, you probably heard the exact same thing come out of my mouth.
Really?
Yeah, I just read the Twizcast show notes. So, but this week I'm not going to go into my Sergeant Hammer build. So I'm going to close that
Well, this
out.
is a very useful article though, and especially like I talked to somebody earlier on Facebook. They were like, "Hey, I'm new to Heroes. I kind of like it, but it seems like there's a lot of nuances and things you have to know to be good at it." I was go read Alebear's articles because he finds everything you need to know that you might not have never known you even wanted to know.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
There's a lot of hotkey stuff in there that I've played. I didn't even know existed. I'm just like, wow, I need to.
Oh, seriously, yeah, he nailed every single one of them. So make sure you guys are checking that out. Anything else, guys? Anything else we want to cover before we go into part 2? And for those of you who are watching in the chat room or listening to this on the download, part 2 is where we actually talk about team comp and we dive into the Nexus. We play a couple of games. Like I said, I'm going to be playing the medic all night. It might go well, it might go poorly. I'm planning on the latter, but either way, it should be a really great time. You can check out both of these videos on the Blizz Pro YouTube channel. They're going to be uploaded tomorrow on Wednesday. And the audio version of this is available on iTunes, where 5-star reviews are absolutely, certainly, awesomely appreciated. So that way when people type in Heroes of the Storm podcast and stuff like that, our show pops up if we have more 5-star reviews. So, you know what, Eldorian, real quick, why don't you take just a minute and talk about some of the other shows that are on BlizzPro.tv?
Well, sure. Sunday night, we have, if you like Hearthstone, we have the Well Met podcast. I am one of the co-hosts on there, along with 2 others. We've done pretty well. We talk a lot about the meta, a lot about trying to become better at the game, and we have a lot of fun doing it. Monday, of course, Twizcast at 9 p.m. Central. Twiz can definitely tell you more about that. It's everything Blizzard related. They talk about all of the games, so definitely check that out. Tuesday nights, of course, we have Heroes Power Hour. Wednesday nights, we have the West March Workshop, where Nineball and Lieutenant Lunatic talk about Diablo 3. And those guys are experts at that game, and they know way more about Diablo than I ever wished to know. So. Also on YouTube, we have Blizz Pro Weekly, which recently we had one of our hosts leave that show. He had done about 80-some episodes, and we brought it back with a brand new cast this week.
Yep.
It's a little rough around the edges right now, but
there's always...
these guys are pretty excited to really improve, and it's going to be a good show. It's like a 10-minute show about all the Blizzard news that went on that week.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And you know what? Everybody has a first show, a first episode. Things are always rough starting out, especially when you're coming off the heels of somebody like Chris Arnone, that's been doing it for 80, like you said, 80-some episodes. So anyways, no, they're doing a phenomenal job. I watched it myself. Guys, embrace them, grow with them, love them. They're trying
and
their
they're all
hardest.
like working like crazy to improve already.
Sure.
Like they know the issues that they had with the first episode, and they're ready to rock and roll the next one. So they're just going to get better and better, and it's going to be awesome to see.
Absolutely.
Watch our first episode. It was just me, Twiz, and Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. You want to talk about awkward? Holy Christ. It still is.
Well, Jimmy's just awkward anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, those
Damn, the guest
of you
is slamming you now, Jimmy.
those of you listening on the download, or any of the 110 people watching us in Twitch right now, we have not gotten an iTunes review since June 3rd.
Guys.
Yeah, that hurts my heart. That hurts
my
my
soul
heart.
just died.
Take just a minute, guys. If you like what we do, give us a tip of the hat. That's the kind of stuff that keeps the momentum going.
It only takes a minute.
Yep. So, all righty. Oh, don't ever do that again. Okay, so guys, we are going to jump into the second portion. Hang out, because a good time is most certainly going to be had by all. And yeah, we'll be right back. Or if you're listening to this on the download, we'll catch you next week. Thanks so much. See you later.